to episode 100. Holy shit of Checkpoint Chat. Can you believe it? We made it. My name is Alessandro Barbosa, if you don't know by now.
100 episodes in, still don't introduce me.
I'm joined, as always, by Matthew Figuera. He's just impatient.
This is when we make the Centenary jokes, which we've been holding out on for like 400 years. Is that even the right term? I don't know. I'm old. There, that's it.
What is the oldest recorded age of a human? It must be over 100, surely.
It's over 100. I think it's like 120.
120?
Oldest human in history. Oh, this is the power of the internet. We can look it up right now.
120.
Oldest person ever whose age has been independently verified is Jean Calment of France, who lived to the age of 122 years.
Wow.
Ooh, the oldest man was from Japan. He was 116.
Oh, so the oldest person was a woman.
Yeah, 122, and then oldest man 116. So we just need to outlive both of those. Then we know. We can call Guinness
France
and, be like,
and
hey.
Japan. So what are in their diets that are similar that we can extrapolate here?
Croissants. Japanese
croissants? Do they?
I don't know. Is that a thing?
I know in Japan they have that very jiggly cake.
I don't know. Oh, what is that called?
I don't know, but it's really jiggly. I like seeing videos of it. Apparently it's very jiggly because they use a lot of eggs.
If that jiggle made a noise, what would it be? You made the noise I imagined. It was perfect.
Good. Fantastic. That's what I was going for.
Okay, but the point is we're very old.
French people, I mean, they drink a lot of wine. They eat a lot of cheese and croissants.
They wine a lot, yes.
I guess the trick to living old is eating lots of butter and cheese and milk and
Yeah. And putting the word la in front of everything.
Oh, yes, that's how they speak.
La cheese and milk.
Mm-hmm. Omelette du fromage.
La Japan.
La Japan.
Allies in the old race. Okay, I'm stopping.
How long ago was this person alive? Like, when did they die?
1997.
They died in 97.
And then Japan was 2013.
So if they died in 97, they were born in like 18-something.
1875.
That is crazy.
This lady nearly saw the turn of 2 centuries. Okay, just imagine this.
She was 3 years off. Oh my God.
You're born in 1875. Okay, at the time, like, when does electricity come into the picture?
I think before then, but like 1875 is like the turn of the Industrial Revolution, I think. So it's like industry is really kicking off then.
So lived through 2 world wars. Saw somehow.
She was like 40
alive.
when the First World War started.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But still somehow stayed alive to witness like the dawn of the internet. Because 97, I mean, the internet was around then, even in like its infancy. That's crazy.
Yeah, imagine never knowing what like a digital screen is and living to see. Okay, never getting up to the point of like a smartphone, but like the internet. I mean, that must have been, and also like in terms of medicine, like penicillin wasn't invented when she was, as far as I know, penicillin was early 1900s. So,
well, what's interesting is that so she died in 97. This guy was 2013, and we're arguably at the peak of technology. I mean, not arguably, we are at the peak of our technology, and no one has outlived these 2 yet. I mean,
that's crazy. Yeah,
this dude has held the record for 7 years. This lady's held it for 23 years. I mean,
actually, thank God. I mean, in general, our average, like, the average person lives longer than they did 100 years ago because, like, you know, we've cured things like polio and smallpox. Well, we thought we did, and then idiots are bringing it back. So that's a whole nother story.
Bringing sexy back.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe it's not a bad thing because like we have so many people on Earth. It's like crazy. It's
insane.
But that's wild. That is
introducing Corona.
Oh God, no. Oh God.
You know it's wild. Okay, I was going through a backlog of episodes. I saw and I read the description for episode 91, 9 episodes ago, which was like, it's 9 weeks ago. And that was on the brink of lockdown. That is a long time ago already. I can't believe how much time's flown.
Yeah,
March.
It's actually kind of crazy.
We're about to enter June now.
Yeah, we're about to enter June. When this started, I didn't expect it to be this long. I didn't expect lockdown to go on for this long. But I mean, what we knew when the lockdown started and what we know now, it's like every day I feel like we're learning more and more about coronavirus, and also just how it spreads. It's kind of unreal.
Well, we spoke about it before we started recording. When we knew episode 100 was coming, we're like, maybe by then we'll record in person, have a cake, go have a nice little princesa or peri-peri lunch. Well, that's not happening.
I actually think on the first episode we remote recorded, we said, by the time we get to 100, we'll be
fine. We'll be back to normal.
And I honestly do not know when the hell normal is happening again.
Well, that's like what you said. Everything keeps changing. Everything keeps getting pushed out. And if I had to hazard a guess of when, I mean, so the latest news is lockdown will go to level 3 at the beginning of June, if that decision holds.
That's but we still need to know what level 3 even means.
What that means, I don't actually know. Maybe the only difference between level 3 and level 4 is you can exercise from 6 to 12 in the afternoon. Like, I don't know. But I mean, how long do we stay at level 3 for? And what is it?
Because like I don't understand. Like if we go to level 3 and they're just like, cool, you can go visit your pals. It's like we're just going to hit level 4 again, surely. Like I just don't understand the rationale.
So they've said that the scale can move up or down depending on. I don't.
Your Western Cape is going back to 5, yo. They are fucked.
I don't know if we ever will go back to level 5 because it's like level 5 was so extreme that it stopped the economy, which we cannot sustain for any longer. Like even in the current capacity, who's really making money? It's I suppose like agencies like mine, some marketing agencies are still hanging on. Some food places doing deliveries, and like a handful of businesses. I don't actually know.
I think that's what they're learning as they're going along now, because now it's like, cool, you can get takeaways. They've opened up a lot of e-commerce. So I think the initial lockdown was really rash, but it was also coming from a place of we've never done this before. This is a whole new, we're still trying to learn, what this virus does and how it propagates. And I think what that let businesses do was prepare. Like now, I don't know, you've got food deliveries before, but I've had like a bunch of Uber Eats deliveries, and they come and they're like, hey, I can't touch your food. You have to come grab it out the packet. Like stuff like that. And they're all wearing masks and everyone's, sanitizing and stuff like that. So it's like, it gave businesses time to adapt to that, rather than like expecting them to do it overnight. So I don't know. It's weird.
Who knows? Maybe episode 110 will still be in lockdown. Maybe not.
I did have to drive into my head office this week because I had no power. So I got a permit and had to go to the head office. And it was super weird, like doing a commute to work and then like sitting in an office because it was so empty. There was like maybe 4 other people there. And then on top of it, I don't know if it's everywhere, but it's mandatory at our head office. You have to have a face mask at all times. So working the whole day with a face mask.
Yeah.
By the time I got home and took off the face mask, like when you get off a treadmill and it feels like your legs are still running? It's like it felt like that, but with a face mask.
Oh my God. Our office is the same. I think that is regulation where you have to have a face mask on. I know, I haven't been to the office, but I know they are open for people who do want to go in. They'll take your temperature at the door, make sure you're not showing like any signs, whatever. Then as far as I know, there's hand sanitizer everywhere. It's limited to like 15, 20 people in the entire building of like 100. So
What
times.
What I did get was because I haven't been to my company's head office in like months because I work at the Discovery building, so I haven't been to their head office in even longer than lockdown, probably since like October last year. And I forgot like they have like really nice free coffee there and whatever, and I had like coffee from the machine and whatever, and I was like, it's not the same as Seattle, man. Seattle just hits different. It's so good.
Yeah, well, one thing I do miss, so I mean, look, I'm loving working from home, but I really miss my colleagues and just the banter at the office. And one of our things, we like every morning and every afternoon we go to the coffee machine and we have a coffee, and it's a great time. We speak shit, whatever. Like I miss that, not necessarily the coffee.
Yeah, I love working from home mainly because I don't have to commute. And
that's the best thing.
There are those days where you're like, I wish I could be working from home because I don't want to be around people, but I do understand that there is value in face-to-face interactions with people, especially in a workplace, because there's all sorts of opportunities and friendships and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think working from home can be permanent, but I'd like the flexibility in future, being like, hey, I don't really have to be in the office today. I can work from home. Let me work from home. And hey, okay, you need to be in the office because there's a meeting. So, don't be mandated to do one or the other.
I sincerely hope, and I'm sure I've said this many times, I sincerely hope that companies and organizations do look at the numbers or the stats during lockdown and go, you've actually said that your productivity went up, like our
company's seen massive productivity spikes.
Saw a boost. So I'm hoping that at some stage when we do go back, whatever, that it is a thing of, you guys can have 1 day off a week to work from home, or 2 days off, whatever. You choose, or like it's mandated every Wednesday you get to work from, like whatever it is. Like
that's exactly what I'd like. Like, hey, on Thursdays and Fridays you can work from home if you don't have anything important to do in the office, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I understand that the counter, like a lot of people at our company have been wanting to come back into the office because they just don't have a quiet space to work at home. It's far more difficult for them to work at home. So there's the counterpoint to that. So it's all weird, but I just hope it shows companies that there are more options than you have to be in an office, because I think that's so outdated.
Yeah, but hey.
But this Checkpoint Chat, it's episode 100. We're here to talk about video games.
We talk about Corona and is your business in need of an assessment on whether remote working works or not?
Exactly. We're here to help.
This is not the place to go, because we talk about
we are professionals here, Maddie. Come on.
We are professional video gamers.
We're professional video gamers. We know professionally how to sit on our asses and play video games. That's what we do for a living. That's what we get paid for. That's what game reviewers do.
This is how I afford my yacht in my imagination. Because
I'd love a yacht.
Pay money.
I don't know if I'd love a yacht. That seems like a lot of upkeep.
Okay, no, don't do it on air. But when you've got 5 minutes to kill and you've absolutely bored, go Google how much fuel ships or yachts use. You will be shocked at how much it costs to fill a tank on a yacht. It's
well, I do have a friend who basically sails around the world, because he's, I don't know what the correct word is, but maybe a deckhand, like someone who helps manage a very rich person's yacht. So this dude basically hires a team of 10 people to basically sail his yacht around the world and meet him in countries where he wants, and to keep it clean and to keep it maintained. So he has to hire 10 people just to maintain his yacht. But they are basically he flies to Barcelona. He's like, I want my yacht in Barcelona. So they have to sail it there for him. It's a cool job for him to have, because he's been to awesome places like Gibraltar and Barcelona and Italy and Galapagos. But that's what owning a yacht is like. Yeah.
Okay. I looked it up because I thought it was a bit cruel to say you'll never believe it and then not tell listeners what it actually is.
What is the fuel consumption?
Smaller yachts can hold, this is just smaller yachts, can hold around 5,000 liters of fuel.
My God.
While the larger ones have capacity for up to 400,000 liters.
My God. 400,000.
The standard fuel usage for a 71-meter yacht is 500 liters an hour. Meaning an average of $400,000 is spent on petrol every year per vessel.
Wait, hold on. 500 liters an hour.
500 liters an hour. No, wait, my number's wrong. 265 million pounds? That can't be right. Oh, wait, among the costs, 400, so just as an example, so how much does it cost to fuel a yacht? This is on Google. Okay, so science. Among the costs, $400,000 for fuel, $350,000 for dockage.
Oh my God.
$240,000 for vessel insurance, $1 million for maintenance and repairs, and $1.4 million for crew salaries.
Fuck that.
Yeah, so this is why only football players own yachts. That's because the only ones who can afford it.
I'm just staggered by 500 liters per hour. That's 2 months of my driving in an hour.
Yeah, I mean, just
that's
that.
Wild.
How much does it cost to fill your car?
Well, my car's 45-liter tank, and it costs around 600 nowadays. Yeah.
So it's 6,000 rand an hour, let's say. More, 7,000 rand an hour just to...
Fuck that.
Run your little yacht. That's like a Baba yacht.
So it's basically, and an hour is like what? Like to take the yacht from like Cape Town shore to like Robben Island or something and back.
So
and then you go to Camps Bay and there's those yachts just fucking chilling there, like off the ocean.
There's some money there.
Yeah.
This is why I only own a raft.
An inflatable canoe.
I just let the winds take me where they're going. The wind and the waves. I mean,
I would love a little paddleboard, and like there's people that go out into the waves and paddleboard out, and then do yoga on a paddleboard. That sounds like fun.
Yoga, goddamn.
That's
my
shark
attacks you.
There was a video going around this week of a dude. I think he was on a paddleboard actually, and an orca swimming just beneath him. And I was like, I would shit myself because those orcas fling seals like they are nobody's business, and those paddleboards look like a seal. So
there was, what is that series on Netflix? That like nature documentary?
Absurd Nature.
Hey? It came out about a year or two ago. There were like 12 episodes, each one focusing on a specific like habitat or environment.
Strange Rock or something like that.
No, it is like Our Planet or something simple like that. But I'll never forget, because I didn't know this, but what you just said about orcas flinging seals, I never knew that was a thing.
Oh yeah.
And they show this, and I'm like, oh my god, that is so cruel.
And they play with those seals. They fuck with them. Orcas are terrifying beasts. They are. Free Willy is propaganda for orcas because it makes him look like a hero, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, here's an Easter egg. Free Willy was filmed and directed by an orca. I bet you didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Propaganda.
Funded by the Orca Association to make them look like... Wow, we're 20 minutes in and we still haven't started this podcast.
I looked up the minutes of that meeting, and it was just 3 hours of... Okay, let's get to video games.
Video games.
Welcome to the 3-hour extravaganza for episode.
Yeah, my God. It definitely could be a 3-hour
could do that.
Episode 100. But video games. I've only been playing one this week, and it's not that good. But it's also one that I didn't know existed last week. So
Assassin's Creed Origins?
Oh, no. So I haven't continued with Origins this week, which is sadly, no.
Okay.
I've started playing a game called Crucible, which we mentioned in the coming out last week.
I actually have it downloaded. So have you been playing it?
Yeah. So this is a game made by Amazon, the Jeff Bezos company. That slimy company, yes.
Jeff Bezos Inc. Yes.
Well, basically a studio that's owned by Amazon, and it's their first big like AAA game that's coming out because they have a bunch in development. And it's billed as a like a third person shooter MOBA thing. So sort of like if you ever got into Paragon or I guess Battleborn in a sense. It's not really like Battleborn, but it follows that sort of like format. Or Smite, I guess. Smite was a third person MOBA, wasn't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like that, but I feel like even just that, the game doesn't really know what it wants to be, in my opinion. Because it's got these characters that are very much like Overwatch characters. They're hero characters for sure. And then it's got gameplay on a map that is definitely not like a symmetrical MOBA map, but it has like PvE elements. So you've got like little creatures around the map that you kill to gain experience and level up. But then there's no store to buy items. Your leveling up tree is completely linear. So you have 5 levels on each character, and each level unlocks a passive ability because all your active abilities are unlocked as soon as you start the game. So they're all passives. They like make you do more damage on a certain attack or whatever, you know.
Okay.
And out of those 5, 3 of those have options for you to choose. So you can say on level 1, instead of this passive, I want this passive.
Okay.
So like that's what reminds me of Battleborn, because that was kind of similar.
That strikes me as very similar, yeah.
The thing is, in Battleborn, you did that as you were playing. In Crucible, you make those decisions before you even start a match. So you can't adapt to... You firstly can't adapt to the enemies you're facing, or if you are really struggling against a certain enemy and you're like, hey, maybe, having more damage on this attack would be very beneficial. Too bad. You can't make that decision in the game. You have to make that decision beforehand, which is really stupid.
What's the purpose of leveling up then? You just have
to unlock these passives. Yeah, more health, more damage, unlock these passives, but you can't adapt as you're playing. So it's not like it's like choosing your level structure in Dota before the match has started.
Which would never work.
It would never work. It's a terrible idea, in my opinion.
I mean, if you've never played Dota, what the game boils down to, it's a 5v5 thing, and it's like you playing, what your heroes are capable of doing, but the enemy's got this one dude, and we need to work towards buying this item or that item to counter them.
Yeah, it's all about adaptability.
Or we need to level up this way because we need to stop this thing from happening. So
and that's why I was always bad as Dota, because I was always trying to use the same builds for every match.
You were choosing your abilities before the game started.
Basically, that's why I was terrible at it.
Okay, that's a weird decision.
Yeah, so that's like the first part that's weird. Then okay, wow, there's a lot going on in this game that just like confuses the living shit out of me. So all these characters have abilities that you have as soon as you start. You can create parties to go into matches, but when you solo queue, there's no like interim screen where you get like, like in Dota you get like a minute and a half to see what your team is picking in terms of characters, so you can kind of like synergize with your team. That doesn't exist here. You choose a character before you start,
and you just load into the game
before you start queuing up, and then you just load into the game. And you can have duplicate characters. So you can have a team of like, when you're playing a 4v4 match of a team with 3 people with all the same character, and then you go, well, fuck. So you can't synergize with your team. There's no text or voice chat, so you can't communicate in game. There's a ping system.
Oh, nice.
That's cool, I guess.
Nice, man. That's so weird, because I've watched a little bit of gameplay on Twitch this week. So, for example, I saw the dude playing a character who runs around with dual flamethrowers.
Okay. Oh, Summer, yeah. She's cool.
Now imagine you have 4 of those in the team. You just don't have any range at all. I mean, she's got a fireball she can throw, but you don't have long range capabilities at all. Like, besides that.
So this feeds into the biggest issue with the game, is that the characters do not make sense, in my view. If what you've just heard before wasn't bad enough. The characters themselves don't make sense. The characters just do not make sense to me. So firstly, all of them move really slowly. Like, this map is like huge, and the characters move so slowly that in the standard game mode, which is called Hive Harvest, it's basically a game mode where every 4 or 5 minutes, this like big tree thing spawns somewhere on the map, and you have to kill it and steal its heart. And the first team to 3 hearts wins. But like, you're essentially meant to move around the map and engage with the enemy team, but it's only 4 of you per team, and you generally only find each other when this tree spawns, and generally the team that wins that one fight will take the heart, because there is just no way for the other team to get back to you in time if they lose. Like, you move far too slowly. So then you get characters that have an ability that aids their mobility, but it's given to the most bizarre characters. Like, there is this one character called Earl, who's like a ranged character with a big minigun. He's pretty cool. Like, I quite like him. So he's predominantly meant to be used from range, but he's got the most ridiculous mobility, like ability that I've seen in the game yet. Like, his gun has got like this, like jet engine at the back of it that you can press, and he can basically just fly for like a good 5 or 6 seconds. So if he gets engaged by a melee character, he can get away like super easily. But then you get melee characters who have no mobility abilities. Like, they are characters who need to get into a fight, get up close to enemies really quickly, but they have no dashes, they have no sprints, they just have their general movement. So think about, like, trying to catch this character Earl, who's a ranged person, who you're running up to him with a melee character, and he just jets away from you and, like, creates a ton of distance. You can't damage him. He can damage you, and you can just continue doing this. He can just kite you,
I was just going to say, so even before you get him, he's busy shooting you, then he flies away and he just continues to shoot you.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like, then you get some characters who are balanced. Like, there's this little, he looks like a little squirrel thing. I don't know what he is, Toka. And he has 3 dashes that almost feel like they are constantly off cooldown. It feels like I can dash forever. And he's got a shotgun, so he can dash into a fight, do a lot of little shotgun damage, drop a little cloud of toxic smoke so you can't even see him, and just, like, kite you in that way, and, like, engage and disengage really, really quickly. But then he feels unbalanced because he just moves far quicker than anyone else in the game. So firstly, he's the smallest character in the game, so his hitbox is tiny.
Super small.
So melee characters shouldn't even bother trying to kill this character because he can just dart around you, and he's incredibly difficult to hit, and you'll just never catch him. Then on top of it, he can drop this AoE smoke thing that reduces everyone's visibility. And then when you level him up to, like, level 5, every time he dashes, he drops an AoE bomb. It's like, there is no semblance of balance in the character roster.
Yeah,
it's like,
it sounds pretty broken.
And already I'm seeing in the games, I've only played about 3 or 4 hours, I'm already seeing that people are picking between the same, like, 3 or 4 characters. There are already 3 other characters who I'm not seeing in games because they just seem completely pointless.
How many characters are there in total?
10, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a huge pool of characters.
I seem to have picked some really good ones off the bat, but yesterday I played with one who looked really cool. She looks like this like space pirate. She's really cool. She's got a sword and, like, pistols, and her main thing is, like, if you switch stances. So either you're attacking with your pistol or you're attacking with your sword. And when you've got your sword out, you move a bit quicker, and when you've got your pistol, you can aim down the sights and get a bit of range. So she's essentially like a long range and very up close in your face. She doesn't really do medium damage too well. But, like, her range damage is not that good, and her melee damage is not that good, and then she doesn't have an escape. And her most useful ability is this dome, where it's like if you pop down the dome, enemies that are caught outside the dome can't get in. But then, well, it says that, but then if an enemy uses a dash ability like Toka, he can just dash into the dome. So it's completely pointless. Right. So it's like it's like, think of Faceless Void, but people can just fucking, like, move in his dome. Like,
that's weird. So what you're telling me is that even though I have this game downloaded, I should not join you for a game.
You should join me because I need someone who's played a lot more Dota than me to tell me if I'm crazy or not. Because I read the discussions on the Steam forums, and there's people who have the same issues as me, but then other people going, no, but you're just playing him wrong. And I've played enough of Dota to know that sometimes when I think a character is broken, I'm just not understanding them. But man, I do not, from a fundamental level, do not get why some characters have such amazing mobility and others just do not. Like,
but I mean, this happens with a lot of games. I mean, especially think about, for the most part, when a new character is introduced, a lot of people are quick to shout like, "Oh my god, this character's broken!" But the reality is they just don't understand how the character works. I mean, it's new. You're introducing something new into, like, an established formula or whatever. But over time, people slowly start to like, oh, actually, like, it is pretty balanced. I mean, there are some exceptions where a character's introduced and developers have to straight up nerf them because they didn't get the balance right, whatever. But I don't know, when you explain those to me, on the surface level, I agree with you. Like, why would you not give your melee characters mobility? It's almost like you need to take the ability from the dude with the minigun and give it to another melee character. That to me would make more sense because you need to get in to combat.
Or have your combat spaces be smaller.
Or smaller, yeah. I mean, if you have a map that big. But I don't know, like, maybe I should give the game a try because it's a sort of thing where maybe over time you start to appreciate how the systems work together more. Or maybe the game really is just broken and it's not balanced fairly. Like, I don't know. It's a thing that you only really learn with playing it more.
Because every time I think of it, I think of how I felt when I was playing like Overwatch. And I think of characters like Reinhardt and whatever. And Reinhardt's got that dash, which is cool, whatever. But it's not really a mobility. It's more to like pin people, catch them off guard and stuff.
It is useful mobility regardless. Like the moment you spawn, you dash out to cover some ground.
But at the same time, the maps are so small in Overwatch in comparison to Crucible that it doesn't really make a difference. Like Reinhardt is slow, but he's extremely tanky. But like in Crucible, there's a character who's very similar to Reinhardt, who's like he's like a shark dude who's got like a hook for a hammer and whatever. And he's got this dash, but the dash has got a super, super long cooldown. And the dash isn't even that good. Like it maybe gets you, up against a character, it's a short range dash. But I'm like thinking, okay, what if Reinhardt had this dash and then he was facing I'm trying to think of an equivalent character in Overwatch, say like a Soldier 76 who could rocket launch anywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's no fucking way he could
way.
Like the 76 could just kite behind him all the time, like constantly.
Well, I mean, carry on.
No, it's just like things like that. And when you couple that with the fact that when you solo queue you can't compose your teams. Like in Overwatch you can do that, at least. Like it just makes no sense that you can have duplicate characters, you can't compose your team, and then these characters feel super imbalanced.
Well, look, that's the sort of thing that can change. So Overwatch is a good case study because I don't know what state the game's in now, but in its heyday it was really good, and I think it still is good. But maybe
a lot of people still saying it's really good. Yeah,
but I mean, when Overwatch launched, let's not forget that you could have 3 Pharaohs on a team, 2 Reinhardts. It honestly launched like that, where you could pick duplicate heroes.
Oh, you're right. I actually forgot about that.
It was only later where they're like, that seems a bit stupid. Like it makes it very difficult to balance it. I think because there was some stupid, like maybe I'm speaking shit or maybe I'm getting the example wrong, but I remember there was some stupid strats of like pick 2 Pharaohs and 3 of these and 1 of those, and it was like impossible to stop. So they've looked at that and they fixed it. But I mean, Overwatch, like if you just look at the characters themselves, so you brought up Reinhardt as an example. Like he's a tank, but he still has an option for movement. Think about other characters. So Genji, for example, he's got a long distance attack, but the truth is you want to ulti and get close, to hit people. He's got a dash. He's
got a dash, and his like base movement is really fast as well.
You can basically climb walls.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Winston's got like a very short range weapon, but this big gorilla has a leap that can cover a huge distance. Like
so you can engage really well. Yeah.
I mean, not everyone, but a lot of people in Overwatch have a mobility option for that reason, to like balance them out, Like one exception, so like you get Widowmaker, who's a sniper, but she's got a grapple hook. Then you've got Anna, who's also a sniper, but she doesn't have any mobility. Like they've balanced it and they've been very careful of who they've given what.
She doesn't have a mobility, but isn't one of her actual abilities to slow enemies?
No, she can put an enemy to sleep.
Exactly. So she's got like a counter mobility.
There's always like, there's a reason, like if you don't have a mobility, it's because you've got some other utility, or vice versa. If you slow or whatever, you've got some sort of solution to close the distance. Doomfist, like I haven't played Overwatch that long enough that I've never even played Doomfist, but I know for a fact he's a melee character. His whole build thing is he's built around like charging in and leaping in and like closing the distance. So when you tell me a melee character doesn't have that, it's weird. Like, it's very weird.
This like Reinhardt's equivalent is like he's got a dash that's like really, really small, and then he's got an ability with a 10-second, I think it's like 8 or 10-second cooldown, where you can throw your weapon forward and try and hook an enemy and pull them towards you. Yeah. But even that is billed as a short range attack. So you still have to be, I can't hook someone like Pudge, in Dota from quite far away. So, again, like Dota, Pudge is a slow character, but he can hook characters into a team fight. Like he's got an engage.
that applies to Overwatch as well. You've got Roadhog, who's got no mobility, but he's got a hook that brings people closer to him.
Yeah, so, and even that, it's short range, but he's like you said, he's got this like shotgun that is short range. He's got his ulti is short range, but then he's got a heal, so he can take a lot of damage and move around and stay within a fight and be very, very useful with this hook. I just don't, and again, he's fighting against characters. He's usually hooking in like, very mobile characters that can be
killed very quickly.
Like a Tracer or a Widowmaker or something. So Tracer reminds me of this little squirrel thing in Crucible, because the dashes are very similar. It's like very quick cooldown. You can do 3 in quick succession. But she's balanced by like she will die instantly if she gets caught off guard. Whereas this little squirrel thing is like
whatever.
Can literally just put a cloud of toxin, no one can see shit. Has literally half the health of like a tank character. So like is squishy but not super squishy, but can do like think of Tracer's ultimate, but think of her dropping that ultimate every time she dashes. That's what this thing is. It's insane. Fucking stupid. Like, so. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, I would like you to play with me because you have a lot more experience in that sort of field. But my general sense is like this just seems so wildly unbalanced.
Weird.
And the map is too big for 4v4. There are other modes. I think my favorite mode is a mode where it's almost like a team deathmatch, but it's 8v8. So there's way more people on the same map. And I find that a lot nicer. Then there's this other weird mode, which is like a battle royale, which makes no sense to me. So it's like
because of course
8 teams of 2 on the same map. But if your teammate gets killed, you can form new alliances with other lone players, which I think is a neat idea.
That's
like
quite a cool idea.
You see another lone player, and instead of immediately shooting, you go, okay, cool, let's play. And when you get down to the last 3 players, all alliances are broken, and then it's a free-for-all.
Okay.
The problem is, like, this is a hero shooter. So it's like, you get down to the last 3, and there's, like, definitely going to be better characters than others in terms of damage outputs, and so it just feels odd.
If you're a support character, I'll just heal.
Yeah, it's just like, it's bizarre. Like, I don't... Like, I like the whole idea of forming new alliances, but that's where it about stops because I just don't understand it beyond there.
I mean, if you remove the fact that there are heroes in different classes, imagine having that feature in Apex or any other battle royale. That'd be very cool.
Like, it's a cool idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea of, oh my God, the rest of my team AFK'd or something, and seeing a person and then like the tension that's attributed with like, will they accept an alliance with me? Will they not? Will they just shoot at me? It's a cool dynamic.
They're going to drop you, but that's still an interesting idea.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea.
Imagine like, hey, please help me. You go, oh, cool fam. Bam.
Exactly. And you can just break alliances at any point as well. So you're constantly looking over your shoulder. It's almost like an element of Rust with the Battle Royale, which is interesting to me.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But that's Crucible. You should play with me sometime this weekend.
Crucible, yeah. I've got it downloaded.
It's free to play, so yeah.
So where they're making the money? Just cosmetics
Battle Pass
and stuff. Battle Pass.
Yeah, Battle Pass, cosmetics. The cosmetics are fun.
Fortnite,
but
we have to thank for the Battle Pass. It's a great, like, I actually do like the idea of a Battle Pass. It's
I like that it's optional as well. It's like, if I don't want to invest in cosmetics, which I generally don't, I can still get the exact same enjoyments out of the game, and that's perfect for me.
Yeah, so Crucible.
Although that hot dog costume in Fortnite is pretty good.
The hot dog costume.
The hot dog and the banana, pretty good.
Did you see the outfit I sent you?
I am wearing it in Animal Crossing right now.
I love it so much. I don't know if you'd seen it before. It was like, I must send it.
I think I bought a costume to send you and I've just forgotten to send you. It's a sheep.
It's too good. So on that, we're still playing Animal Crossing. Bam.
Yeah. Still playing Animal Crossing.
We've been playing Animal Crossing for 9 weeks.
It's wild.
Which is insane. But yeah, that game.
To be fair, I've fallen off a bit. I'm just doing the whole turnip exchange lately. But yesterday I spent a lot of time gardenscaping, like replacing flowers and making it look pretty.
God, it's amazing how, because I also reached a point. I was like, yeah, like I could landscape, but I've seen the credit roll, which I know doesn't mean I've actually.
I haven't even got there yet.
Okay, but I've seen the credits. I'm like, okay, well, all this stuff I'm doing now is just optional fun. You know, like I don't have to play this, but I found myself coming back every day just to do one thing or two things. And like today, I lay down some path. Tomorrow, I will.
Oh, you've unlocked the terraforming.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, I haven't even got that yet. So.
Oh, you don't have terraforming?
Yeah.
That is a game changer.
That's what I want to get to.
You got to sort your island out, get KK there, and get some terraforming.
Yeah, I really want to do it because some of my rivers piss me off. Yeah,
terraforming really opens up, and it's terrifying when you start seeing what people do, like with terraforming. I saw somebody streaming yesterday. They'd basically put, wherever they've put their house, they put just waterfalls all around it.
Oh my God.
Like one part, but it looked really cool. I was like, damn, that's a cool idea. Wouldn't mind doing that. It'll take hours to do that.
Do you have to buy different types of paths?
No, so, yes, you have to use your Nook mouse to buy paths. But when you get terraforming, you can make water or build cliffs.
Cool.
And you get like a default pathway, if I remember.
Okay.
Or a default set of them.
I do like how your villagers will walk on paths instead of the grass. I think that's a neat little touch.
It's so good. Like I know Animal Crossing it's obviously directly been impacted by Corona. Like I can tell you now, if I wasn't at home, I wouldn't have my Switch with me at work to sit and check turnip prices every morning.
Yeah,
but I
exactly.
do. Before work, quickly I just check like what's the price.
And at lunchtime I check quickly.
Yeah, and we check and we do stuff, whatever. But I think even remove Corona, whatever, I think it still would have done well. Maybe not as well, but shit. Like I'm glad it came out at the perfect time. Like right at the dawn of lockdowns all around the world.
Yeah, Nintendo couldn't have been luckier.
They were so lucky.
It came out before like people could not buy it at retail, and then they were stuck with it.
That's insane. So yeah, Animal Crossing still on that life, but I did find the time to play another little game, another older game. I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, this is up for debate. Is it Gris? Is it Gris?
I think it's Gris because I think it's French.
Grise? I think it's Spanish because it's a Spanish studio.
Lol. I've always thought it was French.
No. I could be wrong. Maybe it is Spanish, but I'm French. But I know that the studio's Spanish because I looked it up.
Gris.
Science.
It came out like 2 years ago or so?
It's like 2018. It's interesting because I think I remember listening to the Kind of Funny Crew or a podcast where I think Greg tweeted at someone from Devolver or whatever, and they replied basically saying that there's no official way. Like some people call it Gris, some people call it Gris. So, but the point is, I think it's Spanish or maybe French for the word grey.
Okay.
Which makes a lot of sense because the game very much is you take the role of, I don't know if the main protagonist has a name. It's never said. There's no dialogue in the game. I've told you it reminds me a lot of Journey because it literally just drops you in and you just have
start.
to figure out, and you just start. There's no dialogue. There's just music. There's just beautiful backdrops, different environments. But you dropped into this world that is grey. It's like not black and white, just different tones of grey. And you play as this female protagonist just doing some very light platforming and puzzle solving. And the whole premise of the game is to just bring color back to the world.
Oh, cool.
Which is very cool. Not only thematically, because the game is clearly the protagonist is going through some either internal struggle or something which you're trying to figure out or play your way through.
Okay.
But in terms of aesthetics, so you start out in a grey world, but you'll bring back the color red, for example. And all of a sudden, the world around you just gets colored in with these tones of red, and it's gorgeous. Like every time you unlock a different color, there's like a brief little cinematic that it sort of pans out, whatever, and you just see all these new shades and tones of colors come in. And it's a gorgeous little game. It took me like 3-4 hours to finish.
It almost looks like a watercolor painting at times.
It's like a watercolor, yeah. The animation's like, if you look at a screenshot, it doesn't do it any justice.
Okay.
So if you watch a trailer or just play the game,
it's one of those things in motion. Okay.
Yeah, I played on Game Pass, so it's like next to nothing. But the animation style is it's such a beautiful game, and I recommend it to you because I honestly get strong. It's not quite like Journey, but I get such a strong Journey vibe from it that I wouldn't be shocked if they took like direct inspiration. I mean, this isn't a spoiler. What the first color you get is red, and the level you play is very much like a desert landscape. It looks like.
Cool.
That's why I got such a strong correlation to Journey.
And it's like so it's a 2D platformer.
It's
right?
a 2D platform, yeah. And all you're really doing is making your way through the world. And like I've said, there's no text or dialogue. You have to just figure out how to proceed.
Okay.
And it's very simple puzzles. Like you'll unlock an ability that's almost like it acts a bit like a double jump, but lets you glide as well, which means you can jump across further platforms, for example, or glide to a platform further away. So you're basically just using all these little tools and abilities you get to proceed in the game, and that's really it. It's like
you said there's a glide.
It's strong Journey vibes. I'm telling you.
Do you have a scarf?
No, but you've got this really badass like dress, I guess, that flaps in the wind. It's
I'll
cool.
accept it.
It kind of looks like a cape when you jump. It's awesome.
I'll accept it.
But yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I would recommend it.
It's good. Yeah.
Really, really short little indie game, but it's gorgeous.
4 or 5 hours sounds like a really good palate cleanser, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, that's exactly what I wanted it for. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I wanted just a quick
The anti-palate cleanser.
I just needed a little something in between, and now that I'm done, I'm back on Final Fantasy VII playing on hard. That game, still real good.
I think I bought Gree on Switch because it was on sale for like $60 a while back.
I mean, that's a great platform to play it on. You could do it in one sitting or two. I did it in like 3 hour long or just over an hour long sitting. So
sweet. It's a game you could start and finish on a stream.
Yeah, you could. You really could. And that soundtrack as well. Really.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that soundtrack. Do you have the same thing as me where it's like I struggle to listen to a soundtrack? Well, don't struggle, but I prefer listening to a soundtrack after I've played the game that it's in.
I won't listen to soundtrack until I finish the game.
Yeah. So like I haven't listened to Doom Eternal soundtrack yet because I just feel like it won't hit if I don't know the context.
So I mean, part of my enjoyment is like I hear a song and go, oh yeah, that's from this part in the game, whatever. I mean, so a good example is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Like the Blind Forest soundtrack is phenomenal. I still listen to it regularly. And I had to hold out and listen to Will of the Wisp because I'm like, no, let me finish the game first, And the same actually applies. I can't wait for you to play Final Fantasy VII Remake purely to get your opinion on the music as well. So I held out on listening to the music, and now that I finished it, I'm listening to it. It's 7 tracks. 7 discs, sorry.
Yeah, you said it's like 4 hours or something.
It's like 6 hours worth of music. And it is so good. Like it's so that's all I listened to this week.
I'm really, so stoked to listen to it because I've heard bits from the demo, and already that was just like fuck. It was like they'd remixed those themes so well.
And listening, so in the game, obviously I enjoyed it and appreciated it, but listening to it multiple times now, and having been a fan of the original Final Fantasy, I now there are some songs that take 2 themes and just blend them together. And it's unreal how they've done it. Like that soundtrack, I don't know how they'll top it, but they'll have to for the next game. I'm sure they'll reuse some stuff.
Yeah, like the Shinra theme and stuff like that.
I mean, so you know the Turks, right?
Yes.
Like I'll give you an example. So they've got a very distinct theme, okay? But one of the fights, it blends their theme with like the ominous Shinra music, but it's so subtle. Like it doesn't... Cool. It's not in your face, but you pick up the different tones. You're like, holy shit, this is incredible.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So I remember the main Turk from Crisis Core. What's his name?
There's Tsang, there's Reno.
Tsang, that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Good.
They're like the G-men of Final Fantasy VII.
They really are. They're cool. I like them. But other than Gree/Gris Final Fantasy, I played... a blast from the past this week. We played a lot of Left 4 Dead 2.
Ooh.
Which which I learned before we started recording, you haven't played.
Nope.
Which is an actual mortal sin, and we should just
listen.
end this podcast
We
on 100. We had a good run.
We can spend an hour here talking about your mortal sins. We can go down this path.
Don't do it. Don't tell anyone I haven't played Mass Effect
Or Assassin's Creed.
Or Assassin's Creed. Hey, I bought Origins, so
just now you're gonna tell me you've never played Dragon Age.
I've never played Dragon Age.
You've never played even just Dragon Age Origins. Oh my god! You would
never played a Dragon Age.
You would adore that game. Dragon Age Origins. You would adore that game, and it's still good today.
It's a Western RPG, right?
Yeah, but it's it's inspired heavily by like Baldur's Gate and stuff. It's turn-based. Did you play Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah, but like on and off.
It's like it's like your turn-based tactical combat with really good role-playing. It's fucking good. Origins is really good.
Look, I probably would enjoy it, but if I had to choose, okay, like let's just remove The Witcher from the scale here, because that's a good. Was that is a Western RPG, in a sense, I guess. Yeah. But when it comes to RPGs,
that's more like an action RPG. Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to RPGs, though, like I think I really enjoy JRPG, which is why I should really play Persona one day when I'm big and strong.
Yes, you should. I should play Royal again.
Okay, but speaking of these sins, okay, you haven't played Left 4 Dead 2.
I haven't. I played the first one, but not the second one.
You played World War Z though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I haven't played that, but World War Z is very follows that same sort of premise of, hey, is it 4 of you, right?
Yeah, 4 people
trying to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, unique levels, killing lots of zombies.
Okay, so you played Left 4 Dead 1, and what I was telling you is that at the time it was a weird thing, because Left 4 Dead 1 came out, it was real good. I loved the shit out of it, played a lot of it. Not even a year later, though, or like within a year, they announced and released Left 4 Dead 2.
Was it really a year? It feels like it was longer.
A year.
That's crazy.
No, it was a year. Like it might have been like a year and 2 months.
A few months, yeah, but it was like.
But
yeah,
it was such a close proximity. Like, whoa, that's weird. And I don't know how they planned that or how that happened, but Left 4 Dead 2 is legitimately, if you had any issues with Left 4 Dead 1, any problems with Left 4 Dead 1, Left 4 Dead 2 fixed. Okay. It was a thing of like, in Left 4 Dead 1, for example, the survivors can just hide in a corner and never take damage from a zombie. They all cover an angle they found. Left 4 Dead 2 introduces an infected called the Splitter, which shoots acid, which forces the survivors to split up. So like things like that they addressed.
You're saying the sorts of things that would have been addressed if it was launched today, it would be like a live service update.
It would have been like a DLC.
Like a Mario Maker 2 update.
Actually, now that you mentioned it, probably would have just been like the same game. But Left 4 Dead 2 has grown over the years to the point where it includes all the Left 4 Dead 1 campaigns and characters. So
sick.
If you want to play Left 4 Dead, buy Left 4 Dead 2. It's got both games in one, basically.
It's the definitive version.
It's the definitive version, and the premise is really straightforward. You play of one of 4 survivors, you alone with bots, or you with 3 other friends, and you're just trying to get from point A to point B, basically. Every campaign is about like 30 minutes to an hour long, depending on the difficulty you choose, and you're just trying to get to like an escape vehicle or something. Like contextually, it all makes sense. And the one map, you go to a farmhouse, you hold out while an army vehicle comes to collect you.
Okay.
Another map, there's a plane grounded. They need you to put fuel in so you can get on the plane. And
isn't that from the first game?
That's from the first one, yeah. So that's basically the premise that strings these games together. But all the stuff that happens in between, okay, besides you're fighting dozens and hundreds of zombies over the course of a campaign, thousands even, depending on your difficulty. But what really mixes the game up is that there's a thing called Special Infected.
Okay.
Which are these, I've told you, there are these enhanced zombies that have abilities. So like I mentioned, a Splitter it's a zombie that can shoot from a distance, just acid that does damage, okay?
I think I remember 2 from the original game. There was one that exploded, a big one.
Boomer.
And then a witch,
which
I think.
Real funny in today's context when you say,
okay, boomer, yeah. And then the witch, the girl that was crying, and then she screams and like kills you.
Yeah, she pummels you. So there's a witch, there's a boomer, there's a hunter, there's a smoker. They all have...
Oh, smoker. I remember the smoker, yeah.
Yeah. So what's cool is that when in Left 4 Dead, besides having a campaign mode, you also get a versus mode where you, as the 4 survivors, play against 4 infected, human-controlled people.
Ooh, asymmetrical multiplayer.
Have you ever played versus?
I think I heard of it, but I don't know if I ever played it.
Okay, we need to fix this. Okay, you are going to.
This is like the foundation Evolve was built on, because it's the same developers.
Well, it's the same developers.
Yeah, Turtle Rock.
Yeah. So I mean, I know people listening probably besides you because you haven't played the game, but everyone else who has played the game,
they know exactly what you're talking about.
So all I did this week was I've spent 2 streams worth, so about 8 hours playing campaigns and versus, and the game still holds up. It is a lot of fun. Like, I played this game a lot back in the day, so I was just getting hot flashes of nostalgia, just like these very fond memories of, like, it's not the cusp of the internet, but sort of in my early 80s old days, just playing with friends and like voice chat, getting on to comms and talking to each other and communicating, and it's like, yeah, it's just
the heyday of Steam, really. When Steam really started becoming the thing that people loved.
Yeah.
So
yeah, bunch of Left 4 Dead, and that was my week.
That's awesome. I should check if I redeemed it when it was, because I know Steam's given it away for free a bunch of times, but I should check if I actually redeemed it at all. Yeah, and I should play with you. That sounds like a cool thing to play on stream.
I mean, and so those dudes went on to make Evolve, but apparently they're working on a new game now, which
sounds like Left 4 Dead again, to be honest.
Which is that's just perfect.
Yeah.
Like, you need anything else.
I know that was a big marketing thing. It's like Evolve from the studio who brought you Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, now it's like this new game from the people who didn't bring you Evolve brought you Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead, yeah, and made Evolve once upon a time, yeah. That's cool. If you play it again on stream, maybe I'll pop in and join on them comms.
Definitely should. It's a good time.
Sweet.
Yeah, but so you played a bit more Origins this week, but
no, I played no Origins this week.
No Origins. Wow.
No, I struggle to play during the week because I'm just so tired at the end of the day.
Yeah, I bought it now. Lenska's very keen to play it, so
it's good. It's fucking good. I really, 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 really like that game a lot. So I'm keen to get back to it after playing this fucking Crucible. I hate it so much. Hate is a strong word, I know.
So that's what a way to cap off games in 100th episode with hate.
Hate.
Must be
spread
careful,
love.
Anakin. We know it happens with hate.
I have the high ground.
Should we get to some? No, you don't. Actually, you do. On my perspective, is the laptop's looking up at you.
Exactly.
So
I have the high ground.
I'm looking up at you.
Should we get to games releases?
There's
actually stuff that's out this week. Yeah, there's stuff out this week. We're looking at games between May 23rd, which is today, until May 29th, which is next week. Yeah, I do want to shout out. I know we mentioned it last week, but Saints Row the Third Remastered came out yesterday. And Digital Foundry looked at that game, like, straddles the line of remake with the amount of stuff they've changed and tweaked and made better in that game. So I'm actually kind of...
So they put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, a lot. Like, if you're interested, Digital Foundry did a breakdown because they're like, this is the most incredible remaster they've seen.
Really?
Like, it literally borders on a remake. So considering that's a Saints Row I liked, I'm very tempted.
But that's so interesting because, like, not a knock against Saints Row, but we've said before, it's not Grand Theft Auto. It's like the forgotten sibling, let's say. So for it to get that much attention, it's
bizarre.
Because,
it's weird because apparently they've made it look a lot better and more modern while still keeping the satirical, cartoony look to it, which is like a really difficult thing to do, I think. So,
well, now I'm curious to check it out because I really enjoyed Saints Row 3 as well.
I love that game. Yeah, it's the only Saints Row I've played, and I really liked it.
I was completely blown away by it because I honestly saw it as like. It was like the poor man's Grand Theft Auto. I was like, it's probably like a worse game. And I was genuinely surprised. Like, oh, this game's actually a lot of fun and really good.
I still, when I was watching the Digital Foundry video, I forgot that you can just randomly, like, suplex in people, like, on the street, like you can just run up to them and press like a melee move and you'll like suplex or DDT them. And I'm just like, fuck, this game was good actually.
Just for that reason alone.
Yeah, I just saw that move and it reminded me how much fun I had I'm tempted to buy it again. Just apparently, I mean, Saints Row the Third came out on Switch a few months ago, and that port is fucking terrible. Like hitting 10 frames per second, terrible.
On Switch, jeez.
Yeah. Do not buy that game on Switch. Anyway, so games out this week, actually quite a few. Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. How does Eminem say it? Aftermath.
Mom's spaghetti.
Aftermath.
Aftermath.
So that's a expansion coming to Mortal Kombat 11, but a cool one because it continues the story of Mortal Kombat 11. It's a narrative
which I thought was interesting. I mean, we touched on it briefly. The way the story ended, like, okay.
It's the most blank of blank slates ever.
It leaves the slate pretty blank, but I didn't expect him to continue the story with the DLC. I thought like Mortal Kombat 12, whatever.
I really didn't expect him to, and the way the trailer teases it, it's almost like it's going to undo the ending of 11, which really confuses me. So, so that's happening. They're adding a bunch of new characters, including Fujin, who is Raiden's brother. Didn't know he had a brother. Shiva.
Nor did I recognize the name. I had no idea he was his brother. But
I had no idea. Shiva, who's like the female Goro.
Yep.
And then RoboCop, which is awesome because they've got Peter Weller as the voice, the original voice of RoboCop.
Really?
Yes, it's fucking incredible. It's
I love that Mortal Kombat exists for the sole purpose to bring back like these weird action heroes, and like it makes complete sense.
It's
like when they announced
so cool.
when they announced RoboCop, not once did I think that's weird. I was like, yeah, of course it's RoboCop.
And then they also they showcased RoboCop's gameplay in a match against the Terminator, which I was like, this game is so good.
So good. I mean, what other action heroes can they dig into? Like, are we going to get a John McClane?
Oh my God. Oh my God, could you imagine? And then his one like costume is like when he's just wearing that like tank top and he's barefoot in the Nakamura Tower. That'd be great.
Oh my God.
RoboCop 1, watched it recently. That movie is still really good.
I don't know if I've ever finished watching it from beginning to end.
It's got far more like political commentary than people give it credit for. That movie is like really like relevant even today, just in terms of like its dystopian cyberpunkish like messaging.
That's crazy.
And then the sequel's pretty bad. So yeah, first one really good. Other than that,
pretty bad.
Yeah. Also out on May 26th. Oh, sorry, the Mortal Kombat's like on all platforms that Mortal Kombat is on. So yeah.
On Mortal Kombat 11, did you see the Friendships trailer?
Yes. They're adding friendships as well. So a new alternative to fatalities. I like Sub-Zero's one. He's got like an ice cream truck or something.
An ice cream truck.
And Scorpion's one, he like get over here as a teddy bear, which is quite cute.
Game's great.
What's funny is that Katana's friendship is her playing like a game with Melina, but Melina's not a playable character in the game, which is bizarre.
No. I thought she might have been playable with the next DLC, but
yeah, and people have been asking for. I don't know why people want Melina. She's creepy. I don't like her.
She's super creepy.
Yeah. Also out on May 26th, Minecraft Dungeons, which is so. This is interesting because this is coming to PC, Xbox One, obviously, both on Games Pass, but also PS4 and Switch.
No, so it is actually coming to other platforms. Are you going to grab it?
Yeah.
I'm mildly curious. I've got Game Pass, so I do want to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'm getting into. It's a very way more accessible and easier dungeon crawler. So like a very Diablo light. And I read some of the reviews that came out yesterday, and they kind of like said, yeah, the game's like super easy. It's not that punishing and whatever, but at the same time is very easy to pick up and play. So it's like a cool game I could get, Shani and I to play or something because she's not super into games. So I think she could pick it up quite well. So it looks cool. And it's got 4-player co-op, so we can all play. And I think it's got crossplay, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's try that out.
So, but it's cool. It's on Games Pass, so yeah.
Yeah. Grab that shit.
Fantasy Star Online 2 coming to PC on May 27th in North America. This must be said. I have fucking no idea what Fantasy Star is, but I know people in the GameSpots like go mental over it.
Is it like an MMO?
Yeah, but it's like a 10-year-old MMO that's finally come to the West or something. I don't know.
Praise be.
May 28th, Missile Command Recharged.
Wow.
Did they remake Missile Command?
Maybe. I didn't even know it existed, but hey.
Cool. PC and Switch,
Cool.
May 28th. Those Who Remain. I know this is like a psychological horror game that actually looks kind of cool. It's coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One, May 28th.
Shit.
May 29th, so this is now Friday. This is lots of games this day if you are a owner of a Nintendo Switch. First, starting with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. So that's the Xenoblade Chronicles came out on 3DS, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know that. I don't know that
Wii?
franchise that well.
Maybe. Oh no, I think it was on Wii.
It came out on Wii.
Yeah, it was on Wii, and then it got ported to the new 3DS, and now it's on Switch.
Now it's on Switch.
Yeah. So I also never played those games. They don't particularly interest me. So yeah. Also, May 29th on Switch, XCOM 2 Collection. That's cool. I've also got Borderlands Legendary Collection coming to Switch, which is Borderlands 1 and 2 and pre-sequel, I think, if I'm not mistaken. May 29th.
That's quite cool.
Yeah. I think Borderlands 2 on Switch could be cool if it runs quite nicely.
Cool, yeah.
Then you've also got the Bioshock Collection on Switch, May 29th. So that's Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite.
Well, speaking of Borderlands 2, let's not forget, was there not a Vita version?
There was a Vita Borderlands plan, but I don't think it ever came out.
Did it not? I swear it came out.
They announced a or maybe I'm mistaken. Hold on. Borderlands Vita.
I swear it came out.
Maybe it did come out.
Yeah, Borderlands 2.
Oh, it did,
Vita.
yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay, so if it
How
ran
the
on
fuck
the
did that run on a Vita?
So if it ran on a Vita, I imagine it should run on a Switch.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Okay. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? They announced a Bioshock for the Vita, and that never happened.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Ken Levine actually announced like Bioshock Vita, and it just never happened.
Bioshock Vita. What a gem of a console.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, you've got this whole 2K collection coming to Switch on Friday, so that's awesome if you've missed out on those. Bioshock 1, still really good. Borderlands 2, really good. XCOM 2 is fucking awesome, but that game didn't run too hot on consoles, so I'm curious.
Oh, God. Also, makes you cry if you let your teammates die. Don't do it.
It's true. Don't name them Matty.
Mistake number one that I made, I named my soldiers after people I know in real life.
Worst.
So when they died, it was even more like, no, not Timmy.
The last game coming out this week is one I haven't heard of since it was announced during the Game Awards. Remember Fast and the Furious Crossroads?
Is that out this week?
Apparently it's out this week on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I mean, that game looked trash when it was announced, and we have not seen it since.
Let me guess, it's all about family.
Oh my God.
Because nothing is more important than family. Am I right?
Nothing is more important than family.
We're just checking.
Except maybe a good game. I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay.
So that's your games for the week. Moving on to games news. Any games news that particularly stood? I know Valorant got a release date.
It's out a lot sooner than I thought it would be.
Yeah, same.
June the 2nd, I think.
Yeah, June 2nd. It's launching. I think the beta's going offline on May 28th, and then they're resetting all progress. So rip.
Well, I'll be interested to know if you still need a VPN to play it from South Africa.
Well, yeah, you said there's no local servers.
Yeah, but I mean, local servers aside, it's silly because like I can play Apex, for example, in Europe without having to jump through hoops. So I don't know if they're still going to have restrictions like that. I hope not, because I don't want to have to jump through hoops.
I do think though that a game like that would really struggle with like a 200 millisecond ping.
No, it would, but I'd still like to give it a try.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Like give players the choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they haven't really said it's. Yeah, I don't know. Right? League of Legends doesn't have local servers, so.
No, but League of Legends works on some sorcery that.
The ping is actually not that bad on League. Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought it would be replicated in Valorant, but apparently not. So who knows? It's a different kind of game though. So.
What else?
Apparently, the PS5 will be 100 times faster than the PS4.
Yeah, so this was said during a Sony strategic marketing presentation where Sony's CEO he was basically reiterating a line that Mark Cerny said in March. And they are, when they give out that figure, they specifically referring to the SSD
the hard drive
and what it does. Yeah.
But still, it's a
it's a big term.
But it's a typical like next generation thing. Like, how many flippity flops does this thing do? It's like it's 100 times faster.
It's a great marketing thing because people will just take the number and the times and like forget the context that it's mentioned.
You will get people who will just read, "Wow, 100 times faster," and you just assume 100 times faster processing power.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even see this article. I went straight down to the quotes. It's like, no, the hard drive. Well, the game data processing speeds are approximately 100 times faster.
Yeah, that's basically
so the hard drive's faster. Doesn't mean that the flippity flops are 100 times faster.
It's we're in the silly season of like next gen consoles for sure. Like two big games celebrated their anniversary this week. Pac-Man turned 40.
40
years old. Came out in 1980.
Well, can we all just appreciate that?
1980.
So there's the Pac-Man era of games, right? Okay. But we are slowly getting towards the PS1 era of games, which to me is my childhood. Okay, like 90s. That's like 30 years ago now.
Crazy.
Just think about that. Okay, 30 years. We had a PS2, PS3, and PS4. We're going into PS5. That's how old we are.
I mean, it's bizarre to think of games like the first BioShock is like 13 years old. It's like, what the fuck? How?
It feels older, but it's at the same time not.
Yeah, it blows crazy. My fucking mind.
I mean, okay, if you use that as for context, BioShock, one really good game. Look how far games have come in the last 13 years alone.
Yeah.
Okay. But then think the last 30 years or 40 years from Pac-Man to where we are today, where I know every gen we're like, wow, there's nothing more realistic than this, but every generation we seem to get more realistic. And we are, I think, at a point now it's like, holy shit, it's getting very difficult to tell. Like, racing games are the perfect example of, is that real? Is that
I mean, you watch those like, Formula One streams,
and it's lifelike.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. I always think there are, visuals are one facets of games, and we're pushing in other directions as well. But it's like, every time I think we've reached the pinnacle, it just gets pushed further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Pac-Man to thank, I think, for not alone, obviously, but Pac-Man definitely helped cement gaming as a
definitely
thing.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned it to my dad yesterday, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I used to play that at bars and stuff like that." It's like
when I was a teenager, like, "Oh, Dad, you're so old." It was 40 years ago.
Also celebrating an anniversary this week was Microsoft Solitaire, 30 years old.
30 years old. Yeah. That is so weird because Solitaire to me almost seems as old as Pac-Man, but it's came out 10 years later.
I guess, I guess it came out with one of the first, Windows 93? Or
holy shit.
Must have been before then. Must have been. It's weird. I wonder how old that pinball game is. What's it? Space Cadet.
The pinball game. That came in the early 2000s, I think.
No way.
XP.
No
I
way. It must be older
XP.
than that. Space Cadet. Okay, I'm Googling it because I don't believe you. Wait, Space Cadet Pinball. Why did it just... it just gave me something.
Did you just Google Space Cadet in isolation?
Yes.
That's on you. What did you expect? Sign up for NASA.
Wait, it's called Full Tilt Pinball? What?
Don't know.
It features 3 tables: Space Cadet, Skullduggery, and No, this is not the right thing.
Are you sure? Because I have a feeling Space Cadet was like the free one, and you had the option to buy other tables.
What?
I could be wrong though.
This is bullshit. I've never heard of this. I always thought there was just the one.
I could be wrong. God damn. It's Windows XP Pinball.
Okay, 3D Pinball for Windows Space Cadet is a version of the Space Cadet table bundled with Microsoft Windows. It was originally packaged with Microsoft Plus 95 and later included with Windows NT, Windows 2000, Windows ME, and Windows XP.
That's what I think of it. It came out before that.
This game came out in 95.
Shit.
Okay. It's like 3 years old, 3 years younger than me. That's crazy.
I think that's the game I'm going to stream next.
Oh my god, it's published by Maxis, who do The Sims.
Sims, yeah.
They're owned by EA now.
Who knew?
There was a version for Mac OS. Interesting.
Good lord. Because point is, there's a lot of old things. Okay, we've got Solitaire. We've got Pac-Man and we've got Checkpoint Chats. We're all doing all of them, so it's fine.
Risk of Rain 2 is officially coming out of early access in August.
Really? Oh my god, we have to play it.
Wait till August. I think we bought it when it first came out on early access, and I still have not booted it up. And I just hear good things about it. Like everyone's saying it's really good. So need to get on that.
God damn.
Christopher Nolan debuted his new trailer for his like time-bending movie called Tenet in Fortnite this week, which is kind of strange.
That is so weird.
And apparently it was like part of his idea. It wasn't just some like dumb marketing thing. So interesting.
Does Christopher Nolan have children?
Maybe he just really likes getting those chicken dinners in Fortnite.
No, because imagine it is like young Christopher Nolan Jr. says, "Dad, I really want your trailer in Fortnite." He says, "Of course,
of course, son.
For you, my boy. Anything." And here we are. People like that makes no sense. Like, listen, my son asked. What my son asks, he gets.
Exactly.
So you never know.
And epic.
That is
and
weird.
Tim Sweeney is like, my little plasma ball in my room says yes. So okay.
Yes. Oh god, that plasma.
Did you see a lot of people saying
good.
Tim Sweeney's room from that stream looked like something out of Animal Crossing? Because it was just like an empty room with carpet and just this random plasma ball in the middle of the fucking room.
He 100% plays that thing. He's like, oh, there's this weird negative space in my webcam. I better put something there.
Yeah, plasma
my
ball.
little lightning ball from the 80s.
Surprised there wasn't a lava lamp or something.
Good.
And then he's just casually eating Popeyes during that stream.
It is so good.
He's amazing. He's like, I'm a billionaire, but who gives a shit?
Care. Yeah. Well, look, he's a billionaire, but he's a real smart guy. He was speaking shit that I was like, whoa.
No, he is really smart. He's like on the level of a John Carmack in terms of like tech understanding is, yeah.
It's insane.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War might be the Call of Duty for this year, which is a really long name and I don't like it.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Ultra Remastered.
Jesus, it's bad. Just
call
it like, okay, I understand it's not called Call of Duty Cold War because Black Ops has a lot of good SEO attached to it, and I think that's the only reason.
That's literally the only reason.
Yeah. So apparently it's being teased in Warzone, but it's apparently going back to the Cold War. You know, remember the numbers, Mason? How Black Ops first started?
The numbers. Yeah. That was a good time. I don't know. I don't think it's still available, but we did talk about GTA 5 being free on Epic.
Yes.
Or did we not?
I think we mentioned it last week, but it was free, and now Civilization 6 is free?
Now Civilization 6 is free.
Civ 6 is good.
There was like a supposed leak of what the next games are going to be, and apparently the next free game will be the Handsome Collection for Borderlands.
Oh, cool.
Which is quite cool.
Okay.
And the fourth one, I can't remember off the top of my head, but also big game that's free. So Epic just out here giving away free games.
Yo, I have so many games on Epic that I've just claimed for free, and that reminds me, now that the sale's still going on, I should buy Rainbow Six on there, and we should jam that.
It's too many games, man. Too many
games. Last bits of news: Marvel's Iron Man VR has a demo on PSN, and it's now coming out on July 3rd or July 5th or something. I don't know. Oh no, wait! I just opened up the trailer. Never mind. Anyway, the trailer's out. It's only on PSVR. I kind of want to play it, but then I think about all the setup for PSVR, and I'm just like, fuck, no.
Goddamn.
It's such a pain, especially now that I have the Quest. I'm just like, oh my god, I never want to play like VR like that again because it's just such a pain to play.
How about this for last bit of news? You know that little game Terraria?
The 2D Minecraft.
2D Minecraft. It got an update. I think the last update. It's called Journey's End.
The last update?
It wraps up... Well, the game's 9 years old.
Whoa.
Think about that.
I did not realize it was that old.
This episode is all about reminiscing and realizing how old as shit we are.
That's
9
crazy.
years old. So yeah, apparently this is the last update. And I read something stupid. Okay, the text, I mean the patch notes, 40 pages long.
Oh.
Okay. I read something stupid. I want to find an exact number though. It's like something ridiculous, like 800 items have been added to the game.
800?
Like, what could they possibly add?
This could be a sequel. This could be Terraria 2.
Yeah. And what's pretty cool is that the game hits a concurrent player count of 54,000, which is wild for a game that is nearly a decade old.
Yeah, that is kind of incredible. Holy shit. Well, good for Terraria. Is Terraria and Starbound the same developers?
I do not know.
Let me check quickly. Because I played Starbound and I never played Terraria, but everyone says Starbound is like space Terraria.
Maybe. I mean, Terraria, I actually own it. I played it a little bit, but I haven't fallen into it as deeply as other people have. And I think I really would enjoy it. I know a lot of my friends were excited to get back into it.
Okay, so it's not the same developers. But
I want to see newest to play.
I should try Terraria. Seems like a good time.
Okay. Sorry, I was wrong. Going through the Terraria patch notes, over 1,000 new items.
Oh my
bringing
god.
the total item counts to over 5,000.
So it's like 20% more items. Like,
holy. But just think about, okay, you've got this game. It's, for the most part, you think it's done. Like, it's a really good game, well received. Now you're in a boardroom thinking like, what else can we add to this game? And you somehow brainstorm 1,000.
Yeah, let's just add 1,000 items. Yeah, and all those, as far as in a Terraria, like items interact with each other and things like yeah, I can't.
Oh, looking at the gifts now, there's like, it looks like there's a whip, there's a minigun.
Ooh, Indiana Jones.
There's a gun that looks like it shoots like rockets or fireworks, which is pretty cool. Scarab
rockets
bombs.
Or fireworks? That's a very broad spectrum of lethality there.
New mount carts? Holy shit. Okay, this game, new mounts.
Has someone made a computer in Terraria like they did in Minecraft?
I don't know. I should play this game. I own it, but there's just too much to play. So much.
Is it on Switch? I think it's on Switch.
It's on mobile. It's like a Stardew Valley. It's on everything. So, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's pretty much news. I think there's big things happening in June.
In June.
A lot of signs pointing to June 4th being the day we see the PS5. So
PlayStation.
That could be in like 2 weeks or a week.
I'd be thrilled. It's actually so
there's a really, really shaky, and I don't think it's. I'd be surprised if it's true, but there's a rumor going around that Sony has secured rights to making a soft reboot of Silent Hills or Silent Hill.
I have heard that rumor too, and
not that Sony bought the IP, but that they have secured rights as an exclusive.
Okay, but can you imagine? Okay, Sony, good pals with old Kojima. Like, they just old Mark Cerny picks up the phone. He's like, "Hey, Kojima, I got the rights to Silent Hills.
I got your baby.
I secured it. Konami don't even know that you're the one working on the game. There's a loophole in the contract. We want you to pick up the demo and make this game. Holy shit.
Could you imagine?
Did you ever play the Silent Hills, the what is it called? The PT demo?
Mm-mm.
I only played it once, and good Lord, that thing was terrifying.
No,
that is like a horror, and it's weird because that demo inspired countless other horror games that followed.
Yeah,
literally
definitely.
Just a demo.
The demo was so influential, and it was just a demo. I've never played any Silent Hills. I actually watched a video on them, and they look very similar to old school Resident Evils, sort of, but more like I don't know. They look weirder, and
they're super weird.
I'm not super enthralled by their stories, so like, it would be cool. Like, it would be a nice cap on the story of, you know, the whole Silent Hills drama with Kojima and stuff to get a new one, but I'm dubious. I don't see Konami making that deal, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I also don't think it would happen, but part of me thinks, like, for goodness sake, Kojima should just make the game he wanted to and call it something else. I mean, that demo, if you looked at it standalone, you would never know it had any touch point to Silent Hills.
And it was it was billed as this completely different take on the series. Yeah.
Call it freaking Harland Seals. I don't care.
Give us the Harland Seals. All you have to do is say, like, get Kojima to be like, I'm making this new IP with the ideas I had for Silent Hills, and that's it. Boom, you've got it. Like,
bam.
It doesn't matter that it's not Silent Hills. Like, it's Anyway, should we get to questions?
That's news. Oh my God, we have a lot of questions
on this 100th episode of Checkpoint Chat. If you want to send us questions for the next 100, you can email us. checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com, the longest email in existence, as described by Matty. At Checkpoint Chat on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and Facebook. Can send us questions everywhere.
Hit me up on all.
Send us your favorite TikToks.
All of the things. Okay, let me find. No questions on Twitter. That's fine. We got no questions on Facebook either, as far as I know. But let's start with some email. Just
email. Okay,
first email comes from DeathboxZA. He's got one email, but there are 6 mini questions in it. Okay. So it says, firstly, sorry I've been AFK during lockdown. My normal podcast routine went out of whack, but I caught up in the last 5 episodes this week, so I'm on time for the big 100.
Oh, yeah.
Congrats on the big 100, firstly. Poggers, dude.
Poggers, dude.
You don't know what poggers means?
No.
It's like a weird, I don't know if it spawned on Twitch, but it's like a way of just being like cool, like awesome. You say poggers. I don't know why.
That's so weird. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Poggers, dude. Come on.
No, that makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Cool dog. Instead of saying cool dude, you say poggers, dude.
That's so weird. Poggers. Okay. I'm glad you know that.
Episode 1. It's titled them Episode 96 and before. I've never played the Half-Life games. Don't at me, but would you recommend them?
Yes.
Yes.
Now that I just played them in the year of our Lord 2020, 100%.
I'm glad you are the case study of does it hold up? And
yes.
You're like, yes, it does. Cool.
Play the Black Mesa remake. It's real good. And then just dive into Half-Life 2 because it's fucking awesome. There are definitely parts of, especially Half-Life 2, that I think are a bit lame. Like a lot of the, like that stupid hover water thing section sucked. I didn't like that.
See, at the time,
that was cool.
Modern day, bad. At the time, holy shit. I'm on a river. I've got so much space to like fly around and do shit.
Fair enough.
Episode.
But right now,
not good.
Yeah.
Episode 97. In light of Mick's question about gaming chairs, I heard if you have a gaming chair, you get more FPS and it makes your aim better.
Definitely.
Okay. I mean, that's why I added RGB and Funko Pops to the inside of my PC case. Why wouldn't you want that?
Wait, there's a Funko Pop in your PC case?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of PC cases, you could probably put one in yours on the bottom.
Probably, but that would be really fucking terrible for the airflow in my case, but okay. I could balance one on the back plate of my GPU or something.
Oh, you could do it. P.S. I have an old pleather office chair that's lost most of the pleather and I want a gaming chair.
Pleather sucks.
And I've tried a knee chair and I find it really uncomfortable.
So I saw one of those recently and they look like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like, have you seen these knee chairs?
No, but that's what Mick told us he's using.
They look like something out of like a gym. Like someone hacked a piece of gym equipment away and like marketed it as a chair. It doesn't look comfortable. Like maybe it is, but it doesn't look good.
But Meg swears by it. He's like, it's super comfortable.
It looks horrible.
Or maybe not necessarily comfortable, but good for your lower back because it forces you to.
Probably, I'm pretty sure it's pretty great for like lower back or whatever. Good lord, no.
Okay, so episode 98, running with your luggage. Have you not seen the motorized bags that you sit on and can ride?
I want one.
I have not, and I want one.
I want one. I've seen kids in the airport with them. They look
my bag through the airport.
It looks so fun. It looks so fun. I want one. But I mean, regular luggage bags are so expensive. Could you imagine one with a motor and wheels in it?
Holy shit!
I mean, have you ever looked at like a Samsonite bag, like those hard ass ones? They're like 7,000-8,000 rand for a bag. Mm-hmm. Ridiculous. Put a motor in it. Episode 98. What gaming chair did Alessandro get? Oh yeah, because we mentioned it and then I actually got one. I got a Corsair T3 Rush, and the reason I got it was it was one of the only ones that wasn't made of pleather.
T3 Rush B. Cool, man. Nice chair.
Yeah.
Good kind of structure you got there. Nice FPS.
So it's
episode.
So it's like a fabric one. Because most of the ones use pleather or they use real leather, and then they're like 10,000 rand, and fuck that noise.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this one's
a fabric chair.
Yeah, it's so much nicer. That's cool. Yeah, it's real good.
Episode 99. Wino intro song.
Yeah, my bad. it was only on this email. When I read this email, I was like, wait, hold on, really? And I went back and listened. I was like, oh my God. And I even forgot the outro as well. So.
Well, now we know that Deathbox doesn't listen to the end of the episode because he didn't say why no outro song.
You've been
why are you
exposed.
blue-ticking us?
You've been exposed.
What's going on?
But yeah,
last question. Also, episode 99. Alessandro, how's about we get that pastage recipe?
Oh.
Plus, from next week, you could also become Checkpoint Chat Season 2, Episode 1. We're going to run with
yeah, I'm not doing that.
101.
Well, I'm not doing the season thing. I could share the recipe with you. I think I sent it to Matty, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't know if you have.
Haven't I? I sent it to a bunch of people because they asked me for it on Twitter and stuff like that.
Not me. You just blue ticked me like Jaden did. Thanks, dude.
I'll send it. I'll send it to Matty, or if I have you on Twitter, I'll send it to you. I actually sent it to a friend or someone who I've become friendly with over Twitter. Evil Boris. He does all the HDR work for Digital Foundry, which is awesome. So, and he asked me for the recipe, and then he sent me his pastage, and they looked really good.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Okay, next question from Malesh. He says, "Hey guys, if your podcast were a person, they would be receiving a letter from the Queen congratulating them for turning 100.
Is that a thing?
So, it is a thing, and I'll tell you why I know, because Lenska's gran is British. She died at the age of 93. But they are convinced that, she was very unwell, like in an old age home, bedridden, but she lived a lot of years in that state. And they're convinced that she was holding out for a century just to receive a letter from the Queen because she loved the Queen.
She was 7 years off, though. 7 years is a long time.
7 years off. But apparently that's the thing. If you reach 100, you get a letter / birthday card from the Queen.
Huh. That's
Malaysia
pretty
actually
cool.
put a little image here, which reads, it's got the coat of arms of the royal
well, I guess Malaysia's living in Australia, so I guess anyone in Australia, they're still part of the Commonwealth. So
yeah. But it reads, I am delighted to send you my warm congratulations on your 100th birthday, together with my very best wishes for an enjoyable celebration. Signed, the Queen, whatever the hell that's.
I loved your impression, though. It's very good. Do you think then on the Queen's 100th birthday, she has to send herself a letter? She's close to 100. She must be.
She must be close. Okay. Next question from Malesh. She says, I was thinking about Animal Crossing and I was trying to figure out if there has to date been any other game that's treated other profiles on the same console differently. I can't think of any. It's the sole reason I've not picked up this game, well, that and the fact that games like Stardew didn't hold my attention for too long. Multiple people use my Switch. The fact that subsequent profiles get hamstrung is quite disgusting of Nintendo. Why are Nintendo getting a free pass on this? Not even EA can pull shit like this. Gamers are usually ready with those pitchforks, yet I don't see much of an outcry for this. Is everyone just too addicted to the game? Are the players mostly the only user on the console, so it's a non-issue? Do you think this means that other games may do the same thing because Animal Crossing got away with it?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of like, it's a very specific case. Like you have to have someone sharing your Switch or like sharing your digital copy of the game. So it's really not in the majority of people's even purview that it's even happening. But I think the people who have discovered it are definitely not giving Nintendo a pass. I know Miklos on Twitter the other day only realized it then because I think his wife wanted to start an island, and then it was like just plopped him on his island, and he was like, "Wait, have I done something wrong?" And I'm like, "No, that's just how it works.
That's just how the game is."
And it's wrong. I think it's crap.
It's real stupid. And like I don't like. I kind of get why they've done it, but I'm at the same time like still don't get it. I think they were worried about people exploiting the game and sharing items, maybe like figuring out glitches or ways to dupe the system because it's on the same system. But at the end of the day, I'm like, so what?
Or just people like creating multiple profiles so they have so many different turnip prices.
Turnips and this, that. Like, I get that, but for goodness sake,
who cares?
It really matter?
Yeah, who cares?
I mean, I only became aware of the problem because I was playing Animal Crossing and then Lenska wanted to play it, and I was like, oh, good thing that we have a Switch and a Switch Lite so we can both play it. And it's frustrating because I ended up making my account on the Switch Lite purely because that's where I spend most of my time. But that's become my island now, which means Lenska has to only play on the OG Switch, which I think is unfair. I would have rather swapped her because I've got bigger hands. It's more comfortable for me.
And even then you're restricted because she can't come to your island or something.
Yeah, we're sharing one game card, which makes
physical
it
game.
difficult.
Yeah.
Like if we were on the same console, I think there would be a way to like maybe get around it. I don't know. But like another frustrating thing is like I wish I could swap switches with her if that makes sense, but you cannot
cloud
save
save
your data to the cloud. It's not a thing with Animal Crossing, and I don't know why.
It's like Nintendo definitely gets their fair share of shit with this, but I think they don't get as much because people have just kind of like thrown their hands in the air when it comes to shit like this with them because they just don't change. Like they straight up do not care.
And some people have just embraced it as well.
Yeah.
Like I know a friend of mine, he bought the game and he's just happily sharing an island with his wife. But the difference there is that they started playing together where Miklas is in a bad situation because he's poured dozens of hours into the game.
Yeah.
He's progressed way further than anything, and now his wife is just plonked into like
she can't experience the early days and stuff like that. It's crap. It's if anything, Nintendo needs to maybe be a bit more transparent, which won't happen, about why that's a thing. And if it's a case of like, oh, we don't want people exploiting the turnip market. Guess what? People are doing time traveling shit all the time, and it's been a thing in Animal Crossing for like ever. No one fucking cares. It's like it's not an online game. It's not hampering anyone else's experience. No one cares. It should not be a problem. But they are very strict with that sort of shit. But yeah, I don't know. I would have rather them try and curb time traveling instead of restricting other players. Put it that way.
Yeah. Okay, we have 4 million questions from Megs, who titles his emails Incoming Level Up Bonus, Stage 1 for question 1. If you were offered 900,000 Rand for Checkpoint Chat to be exclusive on Spotify, would you do it and why?
Yes.
Would the possible listener dropout be worth it? You would straight up do it? This means
900,000 Rand, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Well, it depends. How long is this for? If it's for life, I might be like, it might limit us in the long run.
I personally think it would even be a great move because you're being paid to be put on a platform that is seriously taking podcasts seriously. So
seriously, yeah. Oh, look.
Also,
you put it that way, it makes sense,
Anchor is owned by Spotify. So they'd be paying us to host on the exact same platform.
Yeah. I think Megs is asking this because you know Joe Rogan
got paid like millions, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know how much he got paid, but his podcast is moving to Spotify exclusively. which is wild because
it's a video podcast as well, so that's odd.
Hey?
It's a video podcast. It's got like a video component.
But that's what I'm getting at. I know there are 3 of my colleagues at work are avid watchers of his podcast. They watch it on YouTube.
So now they can't.
It's weird because it's not like YouTube is just one of his avenues. I mean, I'm sure he's on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, etc. But YouTube, I know, is one of the bigger platforms because if you look at any of his videos, they're in the millions.
Oh yeah.
So you're removing him from YouTube, and I'm like, how much should they pay him?
I wonder if Spotify's experimenting with like a video component to their podcasts.
Yeah, but I also wonder because if you've got Spotify on desktop, you get served video ads. I don't know if you've ever noticed that.
I haven't actually, no.
If you have the app open, if I'm not mistaken, some of those banners are actual moving videos.
That's weird.
That get served to you. So and I think he's moving at the end of the year.
Okay.
So it does make you wonder, are they looking to branch out into video?
To me, that would make the most sense. Yeah.
So it's interesting. Well, look, if we were offered 900,000,
I don't like Joe Rogan, but I think I think he shares a lot of nonsense. He was sharing some fucking weird conspiracy asshat stuff about the coronavirus. So I was just like, okay. But in terms of Spotify and podcasts, it's a big move because he is undoubtedly one of the biggest podcasts in the world. So for them to secure, it's almost like Microsoft going after Ninja. It's that sort of state of intent.
There was a video that came out, I haven't seen it yet, but from Layman Gaming, which dives into Mixer's actual numbers. I haven't watched it yet, but what my colleagues who have watched it have said that the numbers are staggeringly low.
Yeah, not surprised by that.
Where I think to summarize it, all the other platforms like Twitch and YouTube and Facebook have seen significant growth, whereas Mixer's seen 0.something% growth, which is just terrifying when you think that they've thrown money at Ninja and Shroud, who are 2 of the biggest streamers in the world, and their growth numbers are.
I do think it's part of a longer term plan, not to grow Mixer, but to associate the Xbox brand with bigger faces. Like they already use Shroud in a Xbox advert, a Games Pass advert, and it's that's what they're doing. It's when the Series X comes out, it's Ninja all over that, and he has cachet with a big part of the market. So
yeah, that's my thing. I'm a lot of people look at the Mixer numbers saying it's not doing anything for them, but at the end of the day, you've got these 2 personalities, and the reality is they've got loyal fans that will watch them. Doesn't matter where you take them. So
you've also got to recognize that these companies aren't just using their. Microsoft owns Mixer, but they aren't just going, okay, cool, Mixer is a marketing tool just for Xbox, because you just have to look at Amazon and Crucible this week. That game launched almost out of nowhere. It had no numbers on Twitch. Amazon owns Twitch. They could have put Crucible all over Twitch.
Yeah,
but they didn't, because they understand maybe that it's not what is popular at the moment, and why would they sacrifice one of their platforms to boost one of their games. So it's that sort of thing.
It's interesting. Question 2. Do you replay games that got a remaster that completely makes the game seem like it was made in 2018 to 2020, even though it came out in 2008? The Saints Row the Third Remaster... What? The Saints Row the Third Remaster is really jaw-dropping.
Oh, we were talking about this earlier, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. That's... I need to go watch this video now. I'm curious to see...
Yeah, it's really something. It's kind of weird that it launched in the same week as... we missed that in news, but... the Mafia games are getting a remaster. So,
I think we did mention it last week.
Yeah, so...
I think it was rumors back then, but it's been
It's been confirmed, yeah. So Mafia 1 is getting a full-on remake in August, which looks beautiful. That is a remake. But Mafia 2 and 3 got remasters in air quotes that came out this week. And the Mafia 2 remaster is really, really, really bad.
Goddamn.
It's a 10-year-old game that still looks better on PCs. The PC version still looks better than the remaster they put out on consoles. And then you compare that to Saints Row the Third, and it's a completely different thing. So, but they both have the term remaster in them, so it's bizarre.
It's weird. I think next gen we need to spend some time looking at the definitions of words.
Yeah.
Because people just throw them out. Like,
especially the difference between a remake and a remaster and a definitive edition and all marketing nonsense.
So has the Saints Row thing been called the remaster?
Yes. And it definitely is a remaster. It's not a remake. But it borderline
some people as a remake.
Yeah, I mean that all the character models are updated. The lighting is completely redefined and whatever. It's like it's really an impressive overhaul, and it makes me want to play that game again.
But when you say that, it makes sense as a remaster. Whereas the most obvious example of remake is like Resident Evil 2 and 3 and Final Fantasy 7. It's the same game, but
they're completely different. Yeah, they're made from the ground up. They are using ideas of the originals, but they are definitely not just upscaling or replacing assets or something. So
yeah.
But I generally go back to remasters that are very good. I'll go back to them. I can't recall one off the top of my head now. But
I want to play The Last of Us remaster.
Oh, I've played that. That's good. Yeah.
I only played the original on PS3.
I've got it physical, which is... Oh, no, but wait, it came out on PS Plus,
I think I got
it?
Yeah. On PS Plus. Question 3. Have you guys bought more than one face mask yet due to the amount of designs available?
I have 3.
I have not. I only have 1, I think, and I've gone out like once where I've had to wear it.
I have 3, but they're all the same design. I just bought multiple ones.
Yeah, and when I run with a buff. I've
Same.
Got 2, so
I've only got 1, and that's annoying because when it goes in the wash, then I have to wait till it's clean.
Yeah. Oh, there's an option.
But I have been seeing some crazy designs out there.
Yeah, there's some wild designs.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 4. With the wonderful 101 now out on the Nintendo Switch, what other Wii U dead console sentence exclusive would you like to be brought over to the Switch or a different console?
Yo, I've heard that remaster's not good, hey?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, I think you told me.
GameSpot gave it a 4 out of 10.
Oh, God. So Meg's put a screenshot here of Wii U games. Mm-hmm. So we've got an example, for example, Super Mario 3D World.
Oh, yes, I would play that 100%. 3D World is fucking awesome, so yes.
Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Nintendo Land, Pikmin 3, Star Fox Zero.
No, hell no.
Mario, Color Splash, and Yoshi's Woolly World.
Well, we got a Yoshi's game that is fairly similar to Woolly World on Switch already. So
and we've got a new Paper Mario coming out.
Yeah, Color Splash was a Color Splash that was mentioned there.
Yeah,
Color Splash is pretty good though, so I enjoyed that one. Xenoblade Chronicles X. I know that some people liked it, but I don't like that series, so whatever.
I'd be. Is this Zelda Twilight Princess? I actually own that on the Wii, and I just never got into it. I would be very keen to.
Yeah, it was an HD. It was sort of like Wind Waker came to the Wii U, and then Twilight Princess came to the Wii U. Twilight Princess is like not one of my favorites, but
not.
I would fucking adore Wind Waker again just to play it again.
Listen,
I've heard Pikmin 3 is basically coming to Switch already. So
Pikmin 3, yeah. Listen, I haven't played. I don't need any of these Wii U games. I just need Super Mario Galaxy from the Wii. Just both of them. I think
it's coming. Well, I mean, there was a big rumor that even Eurogamer corroborated, so I think it's happening.
Goddamn.
If they charge $60 for each game, though, I'll be royally like. Imagine being like, yeah, Mario Galaxy 1, $60. Mario Galaxy 2, $60. Like, oh my
I would not put it past Nintendo.
Oh, I would definitely not. I'm almost expecting it at this point, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
Yeah. Okay, this one's for you. Alessandro, is it worth it to move to NVMe SSD Gen 4 or Gen 4 X4 lane drive at 256 to 500 gigs of storage, moving from SATA SSD? Regards, Mix. I think...
Not yet.
I think it... Yeah, not yet. Mm-mm. What are we on? What do you and I have? Is it Gen 2?
Well, no, we using Gen 3 PCIe. So
is it Gen 3?
Yeah,
okay.
So PCIe 4 has just started. Well, it's been out, but it's just started becoming a bit more mainstream with AMD's new motherboards, the 550s, B550, I think. But even Intel just released its new generation 10th generation chips. And the motherboards on them don't have PCIe 4 support. So it's like, okay. PCIe 4 is going to become really, really relevant, I think, when the new consoles come out. because those custom SSDs are pushing speeds that are going to require PCIe 4 for your SSDs. And if games start requiring them, then it'll become a big deal. But like the memory for PCIe 4 is so expensive. It's like when SSDs first started coming out, type of expensive. And there's really no benefit. In terms of games, I don't see a massive benefit between a SATA SSD and an NVMe SSD. If you're upgrading from a normal hard drive, I would recommend an NVMe one because it's like they're cheap enough that get the faster one. But I'm still running my OS off a SATA SSD. Like I haven't migrated.
What?
Yeah, my OS runs on a separate SATA SSD, and all my games run off the NVMe one. And like I feel no reason to migrate my OS to the NVMe one.
You haven't lived until you've booted up Windows in like 5 seconds.
I do that already. SATA's fine.
Whatever,
okay.
You could be faster.
You can also go the weird routes and get an NVMe, because NVMe is okay, no, wait, I'm wrong. You can get an M.2 SATA drive. So it looks like an NVMe one, but it's a SATA one.
I'm so lost.
Yeah, so
all I know is my
exist.
little chip hard drive is fast.
So that little chip hard drive can still be a SATA one. And it's quite sneaky because it's very difficult to tell the difference if you don't know that it exists. So
don't come at me with your hard drive flippity flops. No one wants to hear that.
But I don't think I think like PCIe 4, I think like a 500 gig one is like $400-$500 still. It's like, no.
Oh,
just
okay,
don't. It's not worth it yet. Nothing in terms of games is taking advantage of that yet. So
unless you're playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh God, yeah.
In which case it is worth it to have the fastest hard drive.
Having that on PC now, compared to PS4, it's night and day. It's so much better.
Yeah.
Just the loading time. Oh my God, so much better.
Next question. What's new on the Checkpoint Baker's list of foodies they made? Did Alessandro make a baked cheesecake yet?
I thought about it, but I haven't. Yet. I should though.
I baked a loaf of bread again last week.
I did see that. Delicious. Was that rosemary that you put in there? It looked really good. Did you eat it with some butter?
We had it with butter and soup.
Ooh. Speaking of soup, I tried a new soup this week. So we get a lot of soups from Woolworths, and I like soups that are smooth. I don't like soups with like chunky bits in them. Not a fan. So I like butternut and tomato soup, really good, whatever. So there's this new one there called Thai potato soup. So it's a smooth one. It doesn't have chunks of potato, but it's a bit spicy, and it's got a butternut and potato and lime. It's so good. So good.
Oh, I'll tell Lenska about that. Okay, I know you don't like chunky bits, but they have a soup, farmhouse chicken, and that is real good. If you want some chicken soup in your
we don't eat meat at home, so.
Oh, you don't? Damn.
My parents buy mushroom one, and that's an abomination. I think mushroom soup sucks.
Wow.
It's gross.
You like shrooms?
I love shrooms, but it's just too many shrooms.
I shoot shrooms all the time.
Sun-dried tomato. What a soup, though. Oh my God. Do you like cold verd?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's horrible. The only good thing about it is it has chorizo.
It's grass
just
soup.
Eat the chorizo outside of your grass soup.
If I wanted grass soup, I'd boil a kettle, go outside, put grass in my mouth, and pour water in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking gross. I hate it. Cannot believe it's like a Portuguese delicacy. Come on.
Good Lord. Okay, next question. Last question from I nearly called him Gigs.
Gigs.
Migs.
He was talking about hard drives. So.
If Google brought back the Google Glass, but for face shields with the information displayed on the face shield instead of your eye, would you buy into that and why?
That's a cool idea.
I think it would be really cool, relevant now, but in like a year when face masks aren't a thing and you might look silly.
Well, I mean, that is kind of technically what HoloLens is. Yeah. Is essentially that. I mean, it's not a full-on face shield, but it's like Google Glass with a far bigger field of view. And I know, I mean, everyone likes to dunk on HoloLens because they're like, oh, that thing failed. It didn't. It's being used in enterprise all over the world. It's just not a consumer product. It's like medical staff use it, designers use it. It's like Microsoft, they just announced yesterday that it's being shipped out to more regions. Like that thing is a big deal for them. So, but yeah, HoloLens is cool. I'm still super glad I got to try HoloLens at E3 one year because it really blew my mind. And
yeah, I still need to try.
I don't know if it's a gaming device, but it is a cool bit of tech. It's a really cool bit of tech.
Okay, we have a question on Facebook which popped into my inbox on Monday. So this is from Michelle. She says,
Michelle.
So remember, Michelle. She says, so remember a couple of weeks back when Matt made the focaccia and you guys were saying it wasn't thin enough? Well, it's not the focaccia's fault. It's meant to be thick. Here's some focaccia art I did this weekend. Okay, so apparently that's normal. He's put a whole lot of, is that peppers and stuff?
Ooh.
Looks like. Go have a look at the Facebook.
I could smash a focaccia with a pepper.
Oh, goddamn. Oh, and it's olives as well.
Ooh.
That looks really good.
So
is that cheese?
What's the difference between to me, a focaccia? The difference between a
it's always thin, yeah.
Yeah, to me, a focaccia needs to be two things. It doesn't have a tomato base, never, and it has a lot of garlic, always.
Garlic and listen, I've had focaccias with thin layers of cheese.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, if it has no tomato base and it's got garlic and cheese, that's a focaccia. As soon as you put that tomato base on, that's a pizza.
Goddamn, that's true. Okay, she also says, so excited to buy a Ducky keyboard. Huge bonus that they are made in Taiwan. She's living in Taiwan.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Okay, and she said, well, this next question answers that. She says, okay, and I need some advice. Sadly, the Nintendo store does not exist in Taiwan, so how do you suggest I go about getting indie games on my Switch?
Oh, does the eShop not exist in Taiwan?
So I wonder, is that not a thing of can you just not access the shop at all on the Switch, or can you not make an account in Taiwan? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
What I thought of is like, if we don't have a store in South Africa, for example, it's a simple thing of I just make an account in the UK or the US, and you don't explicitly need a VPN or anything. I don't know if that applies in this scenario.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can just create a profile and give it a different country, because I have multiple profiles on my Switch with different eShop regions. So I need one for the US because the review codes I get from GameSpot are for North America. So they can only be redeemed on their store. So basically what I did was create a new Nintendo profile with a new Nintendo ID, I think. So I just created a new email address for that and just set my region as the US, and it was pretty simple. I didn't have to jump through any hoops, and I can access that without a VPN, without DNS, anything. So I would assume that's how you would go about it.
But I don't know, like if Taiwan's ISPs have any restrictions, for example.
That's a different thing. Yeah, that's a different thing. But as far as getting around Nintendo's things, you can just even if you don't want to replace your current profile, create a new profile on your Switch. Make that profile, a home, make your Switch the home profile to that console so you can share games, and then just purchase off that profile. That's essentially how I do it. Yeah.
Okay, we have questions.
That's cool that we got a question from Taiwan. That's awesome.
From Taiwan, yeah. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and thank you for the delicious focaccia picture. We're all going to go starve now and make some thick ass focaccia.
Do we have any questions on Instagram?
We have many on Instagram.
Hot damn.
Ooh, this is going to be our longest episode.
It already is. It's over 2 hours.
Fun fact. We only have one other episode that's been over 2 hours, and it was the one we did during lockdown a couple of weeks back, like episode 93 or 94.
Oh, when we started getting them really long, and we were like, wow, what's happening?
Other than that, we've never gone over 2 hours, ever.
This is a treat. Do you know what I've just realized? We forgot to mention two big things at the beginning of this episode.
I know. Now you've made it to the end here. I did think of mentioning it, but we went with it.
I completely forgot. We'll make social media posts as well for them, and we'll mention it in the next episode as well. But we'll talk about that a bit later.
Okay. So over on Instagram, DeathBox also has more questions. It says, which should be played first, Shovel Knight or Hollow Knight?
Oh, God. They're so different.
They are very different. So I played Shovel Knight before Hollow Knight.
Same.
But I don't know if Hollow Knight existed yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think at the time when I played them, I thought they shared a connection because Knight, but they don't. They're completely different. They're different types of games. Shovel Knight, I think, is better in small bursts.
And I think Shovel Knight is probably more accessible.
Yes, because it's like predefined levels, and it's not a Metroidvania.
Shovel Knight is literally like very, very reminiscent of those old school like Mega Man games, for example. If you start on one point of the level, you have to just proceed to the end and you fight a boss
and get a power.
And you get a power. Whereas Hollow Knight is a Metroidvania in that you are just thrown into this map and it's up to you to decide and figure out how to explore it.
So it's kind of what you're in the mood for. Are you in the mood for like moody exploration or like very blitz platforming challenges?
Yeah. Shovel Knight is super merry.
Yeah, it's very
over
merry.
Over the top happy. They're both really good games though.
I love both. Shovel Knight is fantastic.
I think, and they're both challenging, but I'd say Hollow Knight is definitely the harder game.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Hollow Knight. Oh yeah, sorry, I thought you said Shovel Knight. I was like,
No, Hollow Knight.
Like I always heard Shovel Knight was really difficult. Like it was challenging, but it never made me frustrated.
No,
Hollow Knight is hard.
That is super.
Those bosses can there's still some that I never beat. Like those stupid dung beetles that come out in like 5 at a time. Like screw that shit.
Hate them so much.
Never in my life.
Okay, Bester_Bash says, what's the flavor of your episode birthday cake?
I have no cake.
That's a great question. Okay, but if we had cake, what flavor would it be? Let me tell you.
Okay, go.
While you think about yours. Okay, if it were an ice cream, it would be birthday cake flavored because Paul's ice cream birthday cake flavors is live.
But which one? They have a vanilla and a chocolate one.
Oh, they're both so good.
The vanilla's so good. I love the vanilla one.
But I've got such a soft spot for the chocolate as well. Lenska made a cake last weekend. I suppose this answers Meg's question of what's been baked. I did bread, but Lenska made, it was meant to be, she found it in a recipe book. It was meant to be like a granadilla and mango cake.
Ooh.
But we didn't have mango, so she replaced the mango with apple.
Ooh.
And it was real good.
So using granadilla and apple in like the sponge, or
it's like a sponge cake, yeah.
So not like an apple pie.
Not like a
apple pie.
No. It's like a sponge cake.
Okay.
But then that was in the cake itself. But then she also made an icing, like a very light icing with granadilla. Oof. So it's very granadilla-y.
That sounds real good. That sounds really
packed
good.
Packed with sugar, not good for you, but delicious.
Granadillas are super good. So that in like a sponge cake, oof, that sounds proper good.
Okay, so
I would have
what flavor is yours?
I would not bake it, but I would buy Andrea's baked cheesecake from Chateau Gâteau because it's my favorite cake in the world.
I've had that, and that cake is life.
It is literally my favorite cake in the world. I adore it so much.
It's so good.
Also, we've been making a lot of banana bread, so I guess I'd have that on hand.
I think everyone's been making banana bread.
Banana bread's so good.
Oh, God. It's the lockdown recipe.
I feel like it's not bread, though. Everyone calls it bread, but it's a cake. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Banana cake, yeah.
Banana cake.
Banana bread. For goodness sake. What's wrong with people?
Yeah.
Just call it what it is.
People put butts on that thing. You're wrong. Just eat it.
We have a message from Geek Physique. He says, not a question.
What's up,
just
Gary?
Want to say congrats on number 100.
Well, thank you. Thank you,
Gary.
Thank you for everyone who sends in questions, for sending in and listening, because you're all good regulars and we appreciate you.
We love you. Love you long time. We have a message from Lenska. He says, wow. Just casual shout out there.
Just shout to her real quick and be like, thanks.
She's not in the context. And then last two questions from Cello ZA. He says, question number 1. Why am I still waiting for you two to play a game together on stream after 100 episodes? I don't know.
Cello just misses me. And also, I don't play Counter-Strike. Fuck that thing.
Come play Left 4 Dead.
I'll play Left 4 Dead, yeah.
If you get the game, we must definitely play that.
If you're still playing Left 4 Dead this week on stream, I'll join. Okay. And then, or you can stream Crucible with me.
Do some of that Crucible stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll make a plan. We'll trade. One Crucible stream for a Left 4 Dead.
1 hour of Crucible, 3 hours of Left 4 Dead.
This is quite a cool question, but I don't have an answer. What is your favorite moment of the podcast so far? I don't know. Like, nothing comes to mind, but we've had really cool moments over the 100 episodes.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of crazy to think 100 episodes, because it's now been 2 years and 2 months since we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind.
We've been mostly consistent.
Yeah, we have. I think there was that one period in like a December where we left for like a few weeks, and also after an E3 where we left for like 2 or 3 weeks, but
yeah,
fairly consistent. It means I haven't done a park run in like 2 years, but
well, you know what? If we do decide to record remotely, that suddenly becomes a possibility.
That is true. It starts becoming a real positive, like doing a park run in the morning and recording afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing it makes me sad is that not sad. For we'll understand why I say it makes me sad. One of my highlights was hosting the Nintendo stand at Comic-Con last year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We like hosted an impromptu podcast on the stage, but the recording was awful. So
like it never got published.
It was bad. So it was never published, but it's sitting on a stage just speaking shit about Nintendo games with an audience was really cool.
It was that was really cool to get that like opportunity and to be invited, and then also doing like you were doing Super Mario and seeing like especially kids coming up there and being like enthralled by Super Mario and giving it a go. That was awesome.
It's a good time.
Like I think in the 100 episodes, like we started this just because we wanted like an outlet to talk. We both loved listening to podcasts and stuff like that. It was never, well, it's not something to replace like day jobs or anything like that, but we've had some really cool support from local distributors, Stoke and Game Infinity, and definitely Nintendo. Nintendo's been awesome. So yeah,
giving us all of the love.
Anyone who helped along that journey, super grateful.
Yeah, I actually can't believe it's 100. Like I sit and well, do you want to announce what we were going to announce?
So, I mean, this has been something we've been wanting to do for a while, but we thought it would be cool for episode 100. But basically, when you listen to this, they will both be live. Matty's been motoring like an animal, uploading every episode of the podcast thus far to YouTube. So you can find us, and we will now continue on a weekly basis posting the episodes to YouTube, because we know people like listening to music on YouTube, and maybe you want to listen to the podcast on YouTube. There's no video component.
Yeah, just to be clear, there's no video, but all the audio,
the
entire 100 episode backlog is now available on YouTube, and moving forward, it will always be available on YouTube.
Yeah, and maybe in the future we will start with video, but we haven't decided or even spoken about that yet. But for now, you can listen to the podcast on YouTube. So it's youtube.com/checkpointchat.
So it's not going to be that URL until we hit 100 subscribers. You can't
is it?
Choose your URL yet. But you can search Checkpoint Chats. I think it's just Checkpoint Chats in YouTube. I don't think you need to add a podcast.
We'll share the link as well.
Yeah. No, we'll share this all on social. But Checkpoint Chat. Let's see if we come up. Yeah, we're the first hits. If you search cool. Checkpoint Chats. Yeah.
So Matty's done, I think, up to, well, by the time you're listening to this, we'll have 99 and 100 by then. So we're aiming to put them up weekly at the same time. So it's just another place for you to listen. And if you could subscribe so we can get that custom URL, that'd be awesome. I honestly didn't know that was a thing. So that's news to me.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. If you're wondering how I've got such a familiarity with episode numbers, like I was like, I was going through notes in episode 90, it's because I exported this shit, made a thumbnail, checked the description.
It's been a process.
It took a while,
for
but I'm glad it's finally done.
Yeah, the last few weeks you've motored through them. It's been incredible.
Shit. Yeah, so it's all up there.
And then also live today, when you're listening to this, will be our very own website. So it's a very basic website. It's just another way for us to host our episodes online. So you can listen to every single episode we've published thus far on the website, checkpointchat.com. Super simple.
Yeah,
we got it.
We didn't have to go checkpointchatpodcast.com. Thank God.
we got the original. So right now it just hosts our website. We will be adding stuff as we go along, like a bio page and a contact us page, and maybe a a place for you to send us questions from the website directly instead of having to go to 10 million different social channels. So also just let us know what sort of things you would like on the website. That would be pretty cool. It's a growing platform, put it that way. So yeah, that's the two big announcements. Checkpointchat.com is our website. From our website, you can go to the YouTube channel as well. You can go to all our streaming platforms as well. And then, youtube.com. We've got Checkpoint Chat there now. So, hooray!
Yeah. Hooray, go us.
Go us, yay. We're productive. We also have daily jobs, so this is a lot of side work.
But yeah, thanks so much, guys, for all of you who have stuck it out from the beginning and all of those who have joined at any point on this journey. We're still figuring it out as we go, but I can tell you we have a lot of fun doing it and don't think we're going anywhere anytime soon. So onward to episode 150 and 200 and beyond.
That's the thing. It's like I really just enjoy recording these on a Saturday because it's cool chatting with Maddie every week and talking about games. And it's really cool that it seems like people enjoy our rants. So thank you for listening. Yeah. Episode 100. Woo!
Yay. We'll eat cake and celebrate when we actually can.
I'm drinking Monsters, so that's close to a cake, I guess.
Yeah, you celebrate every week then, apparently.
Shut up. This has been episode 100 of Checkpoint Chat. Couldn't have done it without you. And we'll be back, as always, next week for 101, resetting that counter.
I can't wait to be back next week to make a joke about Dalmatians.
Shit. That's amazing. I love that.
I waited 100 episodes to say that. Damn. It was worth the wait.
Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.